welcome to my art channel. If you are new here, hello, I'm Carla, an artist based in Manila, Philippines. I like experimenting with different mediums and documenting my art evolution here in this YouTube channel. So thank you for supporting me throughout these years, and I hope that you enjoy this simple paint with me video. I'll be talking about new art materials I'm enjoying, why I highly recommend them, and other non-art stuff I'm into. And I'm also going to catch you up on what I've been doing this year and also some of my plans in the next year. So it's a pretty lengthy and chatty video, so you can put me in the background as you can also grab your paints and your sketchbook, and let's just make some art and catch up. Enjoy! So this year I was more into experimenting and drawing storybook-like characters, usually depicting my cat Fuji. This big jump from my usual florals and botanical illustration has made me learn so much about storytelling, choosing colors, illustrating, among many others that I think has been helpful to me as an artist, but to be honest, probably not as a content creator. In the world of social media, consistency is a key factor in gaining a following, and I really haven't done that this year. Do I regret moving away from what people expect of me? Maybe not. I'm still having loads of fun creating. I do hope, though, to be able to gain back some engagement I've lost in the past years. I do wish to connect with the art community and also, improve together with them and learn from the other artists here in the Philippines and also um, in other countries. I do find it quite difficult to jump back in, so I guess the best place to start is to just share with you what I've been doing and let's see where it will take me. I'll be putting a timestamp in the description box on the topics that I'll be covering, so feel free to jump to the topic that you're interested in. Let's talk about these art materials I'm using. First off, the paper is from VifArt, and it's one of the things Artillery PH sent me to review. Artillery PH is an art shop here in the Philippines, and they have lots of international brands. They have Himimiya. They also carry a lot of alcohol markers and inks and Gansai Tambi Kuretake. They also have Holbein paints, so lots of really cool art materials. So they are available in Shopee and Lazada. So if you're interested in purchasing some art materials, I highly recommend Artillery PH. I've already posted a review about the Viv Art watercolor paper in an IG reel, but I'd like to reiterate how fantastic this paper is. What I got here is the rough variety, and the texture is beautiful. I never thought the day will come that I would say I enjoy a rough watercolor paper. I'm usually a hot or cold press watercolorist, but this paper changed my mind. I was able to build layers beautifully. Yes, granted, I did not do a complex watercolor. Maybe I will do that in a future video, but I have faith. This paper is magic. This paper is made in Japan. It's 242 GSM, 15 sheets, and it's available in different sizes. What I have here is the A4 size. I already have the smooth, which is the hot press version, and the natural, which is the cold press version of this paper in my cart. It's just waiting for me to check out. So one day, I'm going to check that out when there's like a sale or some free shipping vouchers. So yeah, so this one I highly recommend it. It's a surprise find for me, and I'm excited to keep using this paper next year. Next up, let's talk about the paints I'm using in this painting. So I have acrylic gouache and the standard gouache paints. For the Holbein acrylic gouache paints, I got them from Art Whale PH, another art shop here in the Philippines. The Holbein gouache paint set is actually a set by Rebecca Green, which is a very talented illustrator. So this is not sponsored. I actually bought them myself because I have a love-hate relationship with gouache. Sometimes I love how they perform. Sometimes I feel like I have no hope in that medium. I don't know if you feel the same way, and I've been watching artists that use gouache so masterfully, and for the longest time it really made me insecure to film another gouache video. Anyways, the reason I bought these is the colors that they contain. They look so divine and not your typical default paint set. It also helps that they are acrylic gouache, not your standard gouache. So for standard gouache, you can reactivate them with water, but these acrylic gouache dry like acrylic after a few minutes. So it will be safe for you to actually layer um, a color, a gouache, or another acrylic gouache on top of it, and it's not going to move even if you re-wet it. What I like about the Holbein acrylic gouache and even just the Holbein brand in general, Holbein standard gouache, is how opaque it is. So the creamy consistency of the paint really helps cover all the lines, all the areas that I wanted to. And at the same time, you can still, for standard gouache, you can reactivate them with water, and it's just super vibrant and creamy, and it's such a joy to paint with them. I'm using brushes from Himimiya, which I find pretty sufficient for gouache and acrylic use. They were the brushes I mostly used also when I was filming my book about creative acrylics. I will link all the materials I mentioned in the description box below. So I hope that you find my mini review of the art materials I'm using in this video useful, and let me know if you purchase some of them, and let me know your thoughts on how you find painting with them. Alright, so we'll move on to one of the questions my followers in Instagram asked me, and this is actually one of the most frequent question that I get. The question is, how can you start illustrating and painting? So, I'm someone who is self-taught, and I do see value in trying to go to workshops and even taking online lessons to gain the knowledge you desire. However, if you do not follow through with practical application and frequent use, then you won't be able to really train yourself in the area you wish. Personally, I like to draw and paint as much as I can. Sometimes I cannot complete it, but it's enough for me to be able to doodle or just play around with my art materials. I also check out IG or TikTok accounts of artists whose style I admire so I can study it and try to incorporate that in my practice. I find that documenting my art also helps in keeping my goal on track so I can see the progress of my art style. These methods work for me, but feel free to also find a learning style that works more effectively for you. The key takeaway is you must keep practicing. This is another artist related question I often get: how to seek out opportunities. I started sharing my artwork back in 2015 or 2016. I don't know anything about the art community here in the Philippines or even how the social media algorithm works. It was just a genuine love of creating and sharing what I do. So it was a lot easier to connect with the audience back then, I gotta be honest. And in turn, the brands to notice you because of your post and engagement. So it was a lot easier then than it is now. I find that the long lasting connections I made were from people I met in art fairs, events, and those I've worked with. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Be genuinely curious, and if you are beginning, don't be afraid to try different things. If you want to exhibit, then seek out art spaces and galleries. If you want to work with a brand, send your proposal and what you can offer them. The worst that can happen is you won't hear anything back, and that's okay. And another tip, don't be afraid to ask. I've sent in loads of messages and even emails to artists I admire just asking questions that they have an expertise on. And for the last art related question, how has my art changed? So I think it has changed a lot. If you look at my pre-pandemic paintings, they were all florals and dreamy palettes, painting on different things, portraits. Now I'm more into vibrant colors and storytelling. It's like my art is going through a midlife crisis like me. Just kidding. I'm just following what feels right for me right now. I can't say I'm never going back to watercolor florals because I still love them, but I have to grow and work on other things no matter how messy it gets. I'm in an uncomfortable state of I don't know where my art career is going, but I will trust the process. I'll still be painting and creating. There's so much to learn, and I want to continue documenting my journey. Alright, going to something non art related. So, an update on what I've been doing in my life, what I'm into. Well, I'm into playing Switch games. I recently completed Trails from Zero, which is such a masterpiece. You know, my main desire to play games is because I feel like it is like going on an adventure, exploring a different world, immersing yourself in a group of characters, and investing on their development. That's really what draws me to play RPG games. And Trails from Zero really hit all the spot of what I like. The story, the characters, the turn-based combat. I could go on, but trust me, if you're still wondering what to do this holiday, then go on and check out Trails from Zero. It's available in PC as well. And I think there are a lot more games in this series, in the Trails series. So there's the Trails um, of Cold Steel, I believe that's also available in Switch. And I recently got that as a gift for Christmas. So I am going to be playing Trails of Cold Steel 3 soon. So wish me luck. Hopefully, I also get to complete that. Super excited for it. And there you have it. If you reached this far in the video, thank you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that this holiday season has brought you rest, joy, and comfort. Merry Christmas, everyone. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next year with more videos, more chit chats, more updates, and more art recommendations and reviews. See you all. Happy holidays.